now they have your attention. I'm talking about eBay, in my opinion, the biggest e-commerce platform you have out there. They have your attention now. You see, for years, they have been trying to do everything possible for you to see them as a platform of choice, a platform that you can actually come around, advertise whatever you have to say. It doesn't matter if it's a coffee cup like this. I actually enjoy drinking coffee, guys. Coffee cup like this, a flower like this, a computer, desktop PC, laptop. It doesn't matter what. They have been trying, very hard to make sure that they present themselves to you as a platform that you can actually come around, to present the items that you want to sell, to the world. They've made it possible through making a lot of ads. If you go to Google, you will see eBay, well represented there. You go to Facebook, Instagram, you will see eBay, well represented on these places. The idea is to make sure that you see the platform as that platform that you need to come and list your item before you can sell it. Of course, they have been delivering on this promise because I get a lot of impressions every month, and sometimes I'm kind of asking myself, this is actually a lot of eyeballs taking a look at my offer, or simply because I put my offer, once again, in my opinion, on the biggest e-commerce platform in the world. Of course, that's highly debatable, but that's not the point. The point is a lot of platforms have also tried to do this, Whatnot, Vinted, Facebook Marketplace, everybody trying to get your attention, telling you, bring your items, we're going to bring buyers your way, bring your item, we're going to make sure that you sell your product to the best buyer. We're not going to give you stress in listing your items. If you are in the US, Craigslist have done this. If you are in Germany, a platform called Kana and Tiger pretty much is doing this. Everybody just trying to get your attention. Some have succeeded, but a lot of them have actually fallen by the wayside. They were not able to keep up with the messaging, reminding you that you have to bring your item to the platform and list it, sell it to actually make profit. But at the end of the day, you said to yourself, I feel like the messaging from eBay is something that is very, very convincing. I am going to go ahead and list my item on the platform. So you do what you have to do. You get some few items around your house. You take a look at what you have. You take a look at your broken PC. You take a look at even the items that are even working, because you have heard pretty much on YouTube, on TikTok, that you can actually sell anything you want to sell on eBay. You get the items, you clean them up, you make good photographs, and you even go ahead to edit the photographs so that the items that you are actually, presenting to the world would actually be interesting, to a lot of people. Then you do what you have to do, and then you go ahead and you post the item on your eBay shop. Perhaps you do not even have an eBay shop. You decide to sell as a private individual. It's all well and good. eBay has a program for everybody. Right now, I think you can even sell item as a private individual without having to pay any fee, which is kind of mind-blowing, but then it's all intended to get your attention. So you have presented your item to the platform, and you are right there chilling, kind of, fanning yourself, perhaps drinking coffee like myself, and thinking that, yes, you have done your job. Now the platform is going to do its own part, bring buyers your way. Money is going to be flowing from the sky. And before you know it, you are going to be rich. This is the thinking that you have. But you're going to be shocked to realize that it's not just enough to get your attention. There is something called an algorithm, that is in place on this platform. And this algorithm has to ultimately bless that offer that you have just posted. It could be, a desktop PC, it could be a laptop, it could be a phone. These items still have to go through the algorithm, and the algorithm has to take a look at it and say, yes, this is an item that we have been waiting for. This is an item that has been well optimized. This is an item that we're going to pass through our filter. As a matter of fact, nobody knows what the algorithm is actually looking for, but then the algorithm is going to ultimately bless that item that you have just listed and ultimately decide if that item is going to reach people or not. In some cases, that item is going to be taken if the algorithm have seen that, yes, this is exactly what the market wants. This is exactly what we have been looking for. It has crossed all the T's and dotted all the I's that needs to be dotted. We're going to take that item and going to show it all over the world. It could be in the UK, in the US, in Germany, wherever eBay is well represented. That item is going to be visible, and if you are lucky, the more people keep seeing that item, chances are that that item is going to be sold and you are going to make money from that particular transaction. But in some cases, for some funny reasons, the item is going to be taken through the algorithm, and the algorithm is going to say, I don't think I like this offer that I see right here. I don't think this is something the people are looking for. And because of that, we are going to bury it for just no reason. Pretty much what happens on YouTube, because sometimes you make a very good video and you're telling yourself, I think I have made a very good video, and then this video passes through the algorithm, boom, algorithm kills it, and that video never gets to see the light of day. Pretty much the same thing happens, on eBay. You see, your item is posted and the algorithm comes, scans over it and says, you know what, I don't think I like the item. I don't think I like the way the picture is. I don't think I like the way the title has been worded, or even the description of this item doesn't meet my expectation. Because of that, I am going to bury this item in the third page. Nobody's ever going to find it except somebody that has a lot of patience to actually go digging for this item, digging through the first page, the second page, the third page. And the problem is, a lot of people do not have that kind of patience. If people just take a look at an offer on eBay, they want to look through the first page. If they are so patient, they want to go to the second page. And after that, most people lose interest even searching for what they're looking for, because on the first page, you're going to be seeing all sorts of stuff, ads, promoted offers. People do not have a lot of patience to actually wait. So if the algorithm does its job and that item has not been found worthy, the item has been buried, and you'll be right there sitting and wondering to yourself, I thought eBay was telling me that I needed to bring my item. This is the biggest platform. Bring your item. We're going to show it to the world. We're going to help you sell it. We're going to make sure that buyers come to you. We're going to make sure that you're protected from disgruntled buyers. But you are suddenly going to realize that at the end of the day, this thing still has layers. There's the algorithm that still has to do its job. There are a lot of factors that comes into play. The price for which you have listed that item has a very big role to play if that item is going to sell or not. The item you are even listing, it has to be an item that the people want. It took me years to actually realize this, because when I started selling on eBay, I was pretty much trying to list every time. Because of that, I kept going from one shop to the other, just trying to buy everything I could lay my hands on, until I realized that at the end of the day, even though eBay has told us that, look, we want your attention, come and pitch tent with us, do not go to the other marketplace, come to us, we are going to make sure that whatever you have to sell will be sold. There are still layers to this thing. It took me years to realize that, but when I figured that out, I started, doing everything according to what would please the algorithm. And some of the things I started changing was how I made my photographs. I started making my photographs in a way that would please this almighty algorithm. Nice photo, white background, sharp images, different angles, in such a way that even if I do not have descriptions, mere looking at the pictures just enough for you to say, you know what, I think I want that item. Exactly what I did. I started modeling my offers also according to what the algorithm wants. And sometimes, if you do not know how the algorithm wants the offer to look like in terms of title and description, just go to the sold listing, take a look at your category. When you see the item that is selling over and over and over and again, take a look at the title that the seller is using. Pretty much you can go ahead and copy it. Of course, you have to put your spin on it. But then when you do these things, there is every likelihood that the algorithm is going to say, you know what, I think I like this title I'm seeing. I want to bless this offer. I want to take it, show it to the world. And this is how you see that you are making sales. Otherwise, you're going to be sitting down wondering what's going on. eBay is not selling. My item is not selling. I have listed my items. This is what I need to do. I was told that if I go ahead and list whatever item I have to list, everything will be beautiful. I'll be making money. But now you are beginning to realize that it doesn't work like that. Everything has to still be conform. Everything has to follow the rules of e-commerce, which is if you have items to sell, make sure the items are presentable. Talk to your potential buyers like you have a brick and mortar shop. When somebody comes to your eBay shop, it's pretty much that somebody is coming to you, walking to your brick and mortar shop and trying to see what might be interesting. Sometimes not all items will be interesting, but if you have displayed your items in a beautiful way, your shop doesn't look so cluttered, things are in their right places, there is every possibility that a buyer that comes to your shop might want to say, you know what, I think I like this monitor right here. I think I like this keyboard. And sometimes you might not even have the cheapest price, but because you have set up things so interesting, so friendly, so inviting, People come to your shop and they want to buy something. This is what it is, exactly what is going on. And if you are noticing that you are not making sales, it's the beginning of a new year. You are seeing that even though you have listed a lot of stuff, people list 100 items, 200 items, only to record 0 sales. I'm telling you 0 sales because they have done a shabby job. They are in a hurry because they bought into this marketing that, yes, if you bring your item, we are going to sell it for you. Just come and list your item. It doesn't matter if you are a private seller, come around, list it. eBay is going to make sure that it says they bought into that marketing. But then when you have listed your item, now you have suddenly realized that it doesn't work like this. At the end of the day, this thing called reselling ultimately becomes a job. You have to wake up in the morning. You have to feed the system. You have to, make sure that you are putting intention into the kind of pictures you are making. You are intentional in the kind of offers you are setting up, the kind of items you are photographing, the way you are setting up the offer. Otherwise, you're going to realize that at the end of the day, even though you are listing items, nothing seems to be selling. This is exactly what a lot of people are passing through. And this video is supposed to make you, see things differently, see how you can actually commit to the process, how you can commit, to making good photographs, good descriptions, setting up good titles, and even taking a step further, which is actually a very important step that you have to take, which is checking to see the items that are selling and you trying to see how you can find where those items come from. When you begin to do these things, ultimately you're going to be seeing results. The more you keep doing them, the more you're going to be selling items, the more you can pretty much say to yourself, I think I want to expand my shop. I think I want to buy more of the items that are already selling. I think I want to, invest more time in this business. And the people around you are going to see and say, look, he just started his reselling business a few days ago. Now he's already making thousands. That's because he decided to do the work that most people ultimately, do not want to do. This is exactly how it works. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Go ahead, write me. I'll be glad to read through your comments. Let us get the conversation going. Until I see you again in the next one, peace.